Well, hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday night. I'm to you, Nat, and I have a very, very special guest with me. His name is Dr. Michael Gross.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
I am super excited because Michael's going to talk about Beyond the Veil. Uh, he channels the information, and I am just going to put his contact information in the comments so that you can connect with him later. And if you have questions, put them in the comments as well. But I'm dying to know exactly what's behind the veil. So I'm going to just roll it right over to you, Michael. Take it away. I'm going to mute myself out.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining me, everyone. When we talk beyond the veil, it's a really interesting thought. And I'd like to explain a little bit about our life and why we're here, and then talk about the veil itself. Before you incarnate, you decide who your guides and angels are, and your guardian angel or angels. Maybe you have more than one, and you have collected a whole bunch of angels throughout your lifetime to assist you in the work you do. And the number is immaterial, but it also reflects the amount of work you do. And I met beautiful souls with 1,000 angels, and they were able to accomplish many, many things, and some with huge numbers. Those who have a huge number behind the veil is whatever the mission and goal is. So they have a whole support team. When you go through the birth canal, you come into this beautiful world. And when you're there, you have your guides and angels with you, and you know exactly what you're supposed to accomplish. You write the script, figuratively speaking, of course, what you came here to accomplish, what you came here to do, whether there's karma or dharma or whatever the situations are. You tend to incarnate behind the veil with your soul family, and your mother and father could have been your daughter and sister, or cousins, or uncles, or best friends, or whatever it may be. And then, sometime around the age of 3, for the huge majority of souls, the veil of forgetfulness descends upon you. So it's like a blank slate. You don't know why you're here, what you're supposed to accomplish. And that's done on purpose for you to rediscover who you are, what your mission and goal is, and how are you going to make a difference in your life, your family, your friends, and relatives, and so on. But I want to delve into this a little bit more in depth, so to speak. And when I say more in depth, we are living in the past, the present, and the future simultaneously. Like, whoa, how can that happen? Well, they talk about the Akashic records. So let's talk about that. The Akashic records is everything you have ever done since day one to this present moment. And they talk about the records. It's actually part of your soul. And one person was asking me today, well, what if I had 1,000 incarnations? Boy, my soul must be huge. No, it doesn't need to be huge because it's all information, it's all encoded in energy. So it could be the size of a pinhead, could be 100,000 years old and 100,000 lifetimes, or more or less. You are always comparing the past with the present, which is now predicting the future. And at any given time, if you look at what you're doing, if you have a proclivity to be a great artist or a photographer or perhaps a contractor, whatever, you have done that in a past lifetime. One of my very dear friends, he was great at building things, and he could do things when there were challenges building buildings or fixing things the ordinary person couldn't do. And it was later discovered he was one of the architects and builder of the pyramids. He drew on that knowledge. Of course, they didn't have cars then, but nevertheless, he was able to use that knowledge. These are the beautiful things for us. But at the same time, anytime you're reflecting on anything in the past, which this conversation is now milliseconds in the past, and the future is yet to be discovered, and I'm talking in the present, and now I'm going to talk in the future, then all collide at once and happens. You see, in the human plane, we have linear time, and we have 60 seconds equal a minute, 60 minutes an hour, 24 hours a day, et cetera, et cetera. However, on the spiritual plane, everything is occurring simultaneously, and you are choosing whatever you so desire to experience. And then when you look at things in this figure of speech, of course, when you're looking at things and you realize, boy, I did all these things. Wow, this is pretty incredible. Look at all I've learned. Look at all the knowledge I've gathered. Yeah, I screwed up, but I learned something new. And then later on, as your soul becomes fully awakened, you don't look at it as a screw up. You look at something new. This is fabulous. I created new knowledge for me. Well, the other question is, what is this knowledge for? Well, you are tied to the true source, and tied to the true source means everything you're experiencing is going to what we call the oversoul. I'll explain that, to the true source. It's like that's how the true source exactly knows what's happening, is learning from you. It's really important. So here you have your soul body, figure of speech. It's all in energy. Part of it is always connected to the true source. Part of it breaks away and goes into a fetus, into a human body. Well, you're probably saying, why is this division? Well, you see, when you're at a high frequency and vibration, you're invisible to the human eye at our level. But as you were to raise your vibrations, you would see actually with your eyes, and later on through your third eye, exactly what the soul is doing, seeing, smelling, feeling, and touching. You see, the whole point of us breaking away from part of the true source, and if we look at it, it's like your DNA and everything that is leaving the true source is like the true source giving birth to you, but is always, always tied to you because you are part of the true source, just like you're part of your mother, your father, and all your ancestors. So you came here to play the game I call what if. What if I do this? What if I do that? And you came here to learn, gee, that's pretty interesting. I learned something new. And the most important item for you to remember is that you are the SOULE/SOLE creator of everything. You created everything. And then we have some of the religiosity that says, well, God knows everything you're going to do. Well, let's look at that behind the veil. So if God knows everything you want to do and you're going to go steal a car, that's really very positive. Of course, as Buddha taught, Krishna taught, Jesus and others, true source is unconditionally loving, allowing, and non-judgmental. So how can there be a judgment? Well, if there's no judgment, how can there be a hell? There is no hell. But it's a great story to manipulate you and keep you frozen and fearful. If you look at any religion, I don't care what it is, there's something in it to try to keep you in line in some kind of disguised veil of threat or fear. Does that give you a license to go steal or to hurt a person or shoot someone? Of course not. But everything's nothing but a learning experience. And that's what's so important. If you go behind the veil, you are a beautiful vibration, frequency, and energy. So let's talk about the vibration, frequency, and energy. You have a color attached to your soul, and it could be gold or white or whatever. And it could be just a little bit less gold, a little bit less white or whatever it is. So you have millions of variations of one color, trillions. Then you have a sound. Then you have a frequency in which you're able to create things. So you have a sound, a frequency, vibration, and an energy that is able to work with other energies to manipulate or create different things in your life. So let's really boil it down to make it easier. You get a cut in your finger. You now have a leak in your skin. Let's put it that you do have an actual leak in the skin. Okay, now within your intelligence of your body is your immune system. It goes, warning, 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 there's a leak. And the immune system goes in and protects you against bacteria or viruses. At the same time, the army of the cells come in and say, we got to plug this leak. And all of a sudden, the blood coagulates and forms a scab. Okay, now you got a covering a scab. Now you're no longer leaking blood. Well, what happens? Now you have another part of you that's intelligent. And the cells in your finger or wherever the cut is in your skin grow together. Scab falls out. The cut is gone. Sometimes you'll have a scar, sometimes you won't, and everything is normal. How much energy do you put into that to make it happen? It happens. And that's part of the veil. We are so busy trying to analyze everything to death and figure that we're in charge. We forget we're only in charge of our emotions. Our soul, which is our true identity, knows everything that your body needs to heal itself. And the cellular structure, energy, responds to energy. Well, let's talk about that. How does it respond to energy? Well, you're upset, you're angry, you lose your temper, you're annoyed, up, high blood pressure, up, ulcers, up, I strain my back, up, I have diabetes, up, I hurt my muscles, or whatever. You see, the energy of your thoughts, because all thoughts are energy, and they measure with electroencephalogram, it's what is creating your life, your body, and everything that exists. So looking at this, what I call the inner plane or spiritual plane, you are the soul designer of everything that happens in your life. It's not taught very often, but also teaches you that you have the ability to create anything in your life that can be exciting, painful, or hurtful. You know, the analogy I talked to very many souls, oh, I'm in pain, I'm this and that, I can't heal, blah, blah, blah. The minute you start that, you're 100% correct. You're not going to heal. You're going to be in pain. You're right. You're so positive. And the analogy I use is when they come out with a new pharmaceutical. Remember, they have to test it. They give you a placebo, I call a sugar pill. There's a very small percentage of people who take the sugar pill totally healed. Well, how can they be healed with a sugar pill? Faith, belief, and acceptance. Faith, I desire to be healed. Belief, it is now happening. And acceptance, I'm worthy of being healed. Pretty simple. FABA, I call it, faith, belief, and acceptance. But everything in your life is built on faith, belief, and acceptance. Whether you get a new job, you buy a house, a car, your family, your friends, your children, everything is built on FABA. So now that you have this information behind the veil, so to speak, even your thoughts are creating. And think about your thoughts. They're electromagnetic. While they have energy, they're electrified, magnetic, it draws into your life. And think about that. Everything that's happened in your life is for a reason. Sometimes you're going, well, I didn't need to learn that lesson, did I? No, you probably didn't, but you chose it. And what did it do? It empowered you. Everything in life empowers you. Everything is knowledge. Everything is mutable, which means that you can change the vibration and energy of it by your thoughts and by your emotions to something wonderful, powerful, and great, and some things that are very challenging. Notice my words, challenging. Well, I've had people and beautiful souls. Well, you taught us how to manifest, and I'm trying to manifest listen to this, trying to manifest winning the lottery in total, and it just hasn't worked. Trying. That's what you're doing, trying. I'm hoping, I'm wishing, I'm wanting. And you're getting it. You're getting the hoping, wishing, and wanting. However, you've not got the final outcome. And as you think about it, it's nice to win the lottery. Would I like to? Of course I would. I'm human like everybody else. Would I share? Yes, of course I will. On the other hand, deep within your soul, does that fit into your soul's plan? That's number one. Number two is whatever your soul's plan is, you have the right to deviate from it. Okay, so what happens then? No problem. Is there a punishment? Nope. You birth out, you have a life review, there's no comment. You have your family, your soul family, your guides, your angels, and everything that you experience with another situation, a family, friends, or life, you feel the emotion of it 100-fold. And all the beautiful things, you feel 100-fold. Well, then I said, oh, they go, oh my gosh, Oh my God, what is it going to be like? I'm going to be in a pain. He said, you think 24/7 you are creating pain and pain with someone, or you're creating failure or hurtfulness? Think about that. No, you're not doing it 24/7. Probably, and don't quote me on this, maybe 1 to 4% of your life is in the negative end. The rest is in the positive end. So don't be concerned. And there's no punishment. It's just for you to recognize, oh, well, I learned something new. It's no different than going out to an Italian or a French restaurant or Greek restaurant and trying some new foods. It's just something you learned. That's it. Whether you like it or not, it's a material. You tried it, and then you make that discernment. So here we are in our lifetime experiencing all types of things. And that's what we're here for, because we gain a lot of knowledge from it. But if we give the power to the challenges in your life, you will keep repeating it over and over and over again till you finally get it right. Well, why would I do that? Well, because you're stubborn, hard headed. I like to mention when I asked the True Source, why is spirituality so tough? True Source said, you humans make a big deal out of everything. You know what? It's right. True Source is really right. Once you do a thought, which is a manifestation, and you truly believe it, and you're worthy of it, and it is now happening, let it go. Just let it happen. It's going to happen at your right time, that when you need it or desire it, the perfect time. And that's all that's necessary. This is what lies behind the veil. You're the sole creator of your life. Every experience adds knowledge. Knowledge creates wisdom. Wisdom creates strength. Strength creates a vibration and an energy of more and more manifestation, more creation, more awareness, more understanding, more knowingness. That's why you're here. In your soul body, figure of speech body, can you don't have the type of body or the energy that can smell a flower or feel the wind or watch it snow or ski. You can't do any of that stuff in your soul. However, you can read the energy of the experience of it. If you look at the energy of fear, it can be black or orange or tan or dark brown. By the way, death is dark brown. It's not black. Or the energy of orange or red, fear or anxiety. All these things, you feel these things in your soul body, but you feel it in your human body, because your human body is an extension of your soul body. The two are like this. Who's in control? My ego or my soul? Unfortunately, with many, many beautiful souls, it's their ego. They have to be right. They're into materiality. They're into fear and anxiety. There's never enough, etc. Everything that occurs in your life is a powerful lesson and experience to know how to work with it, enhance it, stop it, change it, whatever. That's how powerful you are. And I deliver this message to all of you because we go back to what we call my branding, and that is you're unlimited. Once you fully accept that and realize that, hey, I'm here for the experience. Okay, I broke my leg. I know what that feels. I don't want to do that again. Okay, you learn something positive. Is it a negative? If you want it to be a negative. Sometimes things happen and we go, well, I wasn't prepared. I was trying to protect myself. And I'm willing to bet, if I could regress you, you knew it was going to happen, but you ignored it. It's like, don't park in this park. You had a funny feeling. Don't park in this parking spot. I'm in a hurry. I'll just park here. Come back and you got a scratch on the car. Then you didn't listen. You were told. Now you learn something new. Listen to those thoughts. I'm just going to be checking the time, and I see the time is flying. I'm going to be addressing this more and more in the future, but I'd like to leave you with this powerful thought. As you know, I am channeling this information. So sometimes the languaging isn't perfect. Sometimes I hesitate or maybe use a different word or part of a word because the information is coming in so powerful. What I desire for you to understand is that I'm channeling it. The information is perfect. It's how I interpret and deliver it to the best of my ability. And so sometimes I have to change what I'm saying because I'm getting a clarification. Some people call it a download, but that's how you know this is authentic and genuine. So I'd like to share something with you. Before I do, to you, do we have any questions?
I love this topic, Michael. And at the moment, you have many hearts, but no questions. Everybody else loves you too.
Thank
It's
you.
a beautiful topic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'd like to share with all of you that every Tuesday evening, Pacific time, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., it's called Soul Awakening. And it's for you to realize by asking any questions you so desire, new knowledge. Knowledge is power. Power is how we create our lives based on our knowledge. And to realize why things happen, how they happen, and how we can change them or not accept them. It's all up to you. So join us. And to you, give them that information how they can join us on Soul Awakening.
Absolutely. That's Tuesday night at 6:30. You just dial in 202-926-1059 and the access code, Michael.
125446 #. That's the access code.
One more time.
Yes, please.
Absolutely. 202-926-1059 and the access code, Michael.
125446 #. And that's on freeconferencecall.com. All you have to do is just go to free conference call, dial the number, and you're in right away. And you can be in your pajamas or whatever, and we'll never know. Well, using that same telephone number and the code, the second Saturday of every month, we do the mass consciousness healing of Mother Earth. And that's really a pet project of mine. What do we really do? We become a conduit of the true source's unconditional love. It flows through our body. The side effect of that is it's healing and it raises your vibrations. And then, like a beautiful lotus flower, you uncover this beautiful energy of unconditional love to the animal, mineral, and vegetable kingdom on this planet. Remember, we're part of the animal kingdom. It's a beautiful thing that Jesus has joined us, Buddha's joined us, Krishna's joined us, our guides and angels have joined us, the Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Raphael. It's a beautiful, wonderful experience. Tio, give them that information, how they can be part of this.
That call is also 202-926-1059 and the access code, Michael.
125446 #. The same one. And it starts at 9:55 a.m. and goes to 11:01 a.m. Pacific time. We're pretty much within a minute or two of that time schedule. So the first 4 or 5 minutes, I just welcome everybody. We chat a little bit, and then we get right to it. So if you're calling a little late and you hear silence, don't worry about it. True Source will tell me you joined us. We'll make you part of the group that is a conduit of sending unconditional love. Well, let's backtrack a little bit and talk about that Tuesday evening. And the Tuesday evening is Soul Awakening. I deliver a 10-minute message and channel message. And there, I just looked up 408 of those. Starts at number 3 and it goes to 408 different messages. They're not indexed. And when I realized that a long time ago, I said I messed up. True Source said, no. You want to read for 400 indexes? Nope. So just tell everybody, trust their soul. So whether it's number 97, 265, you'll be amazed because the feedback I get is just what I needed to hear. Tio, give them that information.
Be happy to, Michael. And it's perfect. That's exactly what happens when I dial the number in my head, in my soul. Works every time. So that number is 434-300-4170 and the access code, Michael.
125446 #. One more time, please.
434-300-4170 and the code, Michael.
125-446-pound. I have fun with that. So I encourage all of you to listen to the message. You're angry, upset, stuck in traffic, play it in the car. You're not going to fall asleep. Or you're alone or depressed or angry, play it. You'll pick the right one that'll help you. It's all empowering. See, every word has a frequency and energy and vibration. Therefore, when I'm channeling the information, whether it be on the Tuesday evening or even on the podcast, it does affect your vibrations and energies. And it raises them. That's the purpose of our podcast. Well, I'd like to add one more thing, one more item. And that is, adding that item again, I'd like to share with you that I offer a complimentary session. And a complimentary session it's 20 minutes to a half an hour. And you can ask any question. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm not going to do any of that. All I will say, if I can be of any help, let me know. And take advantage of it. And the cost is zero, but how it can change your life is going to be very empowering. So I would encourage all of you to take advantage of it. They call me old school. Yeah, I am. May I remind everyone, call me, and if I can't get to the phone, I'll leave a message. I'll call you back. Then text me afterwards saying what time zone you're in and when's the best time to get a hold of you, and I will get back to you. See, sometimes I don't look at my text till 1, 2 in the morning. You wouldn't like me to wake you up. So please go along with me on that. And one last thing is that I'm going to show you my book, and T is going to show you her book, and we're going to talk about our books.
Hold on, Michael. May I jump in here for a minute?
Yes.
Michael is an amazing, amazing spiritual mentor. He has truly changed my life, and we have a couple minutes. I just want to let everybody know, definitely take him up on his generous offer to call him. Everything is in the contact information in the comments, because he changed my life. The book he's getting ready to hold up in my world is priceless, because he saved my life as well as changed it. So I am just so humbled and so grateful that you found me. I really, truly am.
You honor me. Thank you. You've touched my heart. So we talk about each other's books. Sometimes I have Tia's book, but again, I left it in the other room and I didn't want to run. So I'm going to talk about Tia's book, Healing the Holes in Your Soul. It's, as she says, going from gutter to grace. And it's all about finding who she is, her truth, why she went through all the trials and tribulations, like the mythological bird, the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's an inspiring book. It's about abuse, losing self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem, and rediscovering herself, that she is unlimited. She has self-worth and self-love and self-esteem. And she has an important message to all of us that will inspire you. Besides, I like the guy that wrote the foreword.
I like the guy who wrote the foreword as well. And I will say, had it not been for him, Dr. Michael Gross, and the book that he's holding, this book here would not even be in existence. That's how much he's changed my life. He has taken me from being a wallflower, where I was hiding in the shadows, to somebody who's out here confident in speaking. And that's huge, Michael. If you haven't heard my story, definitely go here, but definitely start with Michael's book, because he is a catalyst for us all to find ourselves and connect with our souls and the true source. On that note, Michael, I'm turning this back to you, because I could speak accolades for an hour and I probably shouldn't.
Well, thank you for your kind words. I want to remind everybody that it's most important that each one of us are the solution. We're here to make a difference, to turn this crazy world that is becoming so divided, so opinionated, into one of unconditional love, to the proverbial Garden of Eden of love, of unconditional love. We will achieve it in our lifetime, but we need your help to do that. Practice unconditional love and non-judgmentalness, and look at whatever is pushing your button with another person. They're learning a lesson, and they're just sharing unintentionally their anger and frustration. So I leave you with two thoughts. The first thought is what I discovered is when you're mad at someone, you're really mad at yourself for putting yourself in that position to be judged. See, the responsibility is on you. And the second thought is that you are unlimited, and what you think you create, and what you create you experience. I love you all. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye, everyone. We love you.
Bye. Love you. Ciao.